All right, you should be able to see this. While we wait for people to funnel in, if you're a VOD watcher, hello. I'll maybe edit this out and put a proper intro in a little bit. But today we're going to be talking about some of the cool tech I saw at CES and also just answering questions, giving feedback to some people. I got to ping the Stream Scheme Discord and then get yelled at for pinging people, which is fair. Nobody likes a ping. At everyone. At everyone. Announcements. At everyone. We're live right now. That should work. All right. I think I'm live. Maybe. Who knows? Testing. 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 3. There we go. There we go. Sorry, Joe. You immediately got timed out as soon as my stream went live. That's hilarious. You're good? Hi, man. How you doing? Sorry, I haven't been on live on YouTube in such a long time. I've got to get it all going again. Got to fix it all. Got to ping everyone. Got to get yelled at. I'm going to pull this up, fix my music up, and we can go from there. Can you guys give me a 1 if I sound good? What did I do? I think Stream Elements is just really harsh about caps lock. And so it saw how many caps locks you used, and it was like, no, we're going to shut that down real quick, which is classic. I got to get rid of Stream Elements. I don't like them as a bot or in general, to be honest, because of some of the decisions they've made, but we're working on it. Okay, so that should be all good. We're fixed. What up, Kitty? How you doing? I'm really curious whether or not this YouTube stream is going to get pinged to people, like notifications. I don't know if you guys have watched many YouTube streams, but they're kind of difficult to actually get people in. These days, unless you're streaming like 3 or 4 times a week, you really can't. You just can't remind people anymore. Ew, Stream Elements. Don't try and advertise your bot in my chat. What up, Life Short? What up, Joe? What up, Kitty? How you guys doing? I hope you're doing fantastic. I am really excited for today because I want to show off some of the cool tech that I saw at CES. But also, I want to do a feedback stream. So I want to chat to you guys and give feedback to some of the content creators in the community and whatnot. But we'll do that at the end of the stream. What up, Short Flamey? I'm glad you're on. I've watched so many of your vids. You've helped so much. Hey, can I ask a question, guys? What's the first video you saw of me? This is something I've been asking people recently when I met them at like conventions and stuff like that. And the answer keeps surprising me. What up, Steamy Snuggler? How you doing? Big man. That's very kind of you. I wish I was a big man. I'm a small. In my heart of hearts, I'm small. When I log onto YouTube, it's the first link to subscribers. You came up first live. Oh, that's cool. Neat. Okay. Setting up OBS and audio issues tends to be the case. I feel like when I check my analytics, I think my #1 video that I have views coming in at all times from is my how to go live on Twitch in 5 minutes video. That gets like 3,000 views a day, which is nuts. I think it's like #1 ranked if you search how to go live on Twitch. It was something streaming related. That would make sense since it is Stream Scheme. Guys, I have a question. This is something I do on my normal streams. Not just my Stream Schemes. I've not been live on this channel in a very long time, so it's going to be a very quiet, chill stream. But I normally like to ask people, on a scale from 0 to 10, how's your day been? Mine so far, it's like 9:30 in the morning for me, so I would say mine's probably like a 7.5. I've been trying to work, but you guys ever do that thing where like you try and start work, but because you have like a commitment or a meeting later in the day, you just can't do shit? Like you're just like walking around constantly like, oh, I shouldn't start that. I have to do that thing later. You're like 6 hours away and you're still just fucking around. We've got a 6.5 out of 10 from Sneemy. That's pretty good. Hey, life's too short. Thanks for the $3, by the way. That's very, very kind of you. I like your profile picture. I thought it was something rude at first. Now I realize it's a kitty cat. An 8. It is almost midnight in London. I was gonna say I've never seen you live before on here. Yeah, I don't do streams on Stream Scheme, which is funny, isn't it? It's a streaming education channel, and I don't go live on it. But I don't feel like I feel like if I went live on this channel quite a bit, it might dilute some of the education and the value. It's my cat upside down. Yeah, it looked like something else when it was really small. We've got a 7.8 out of 10, a 7 out of 10. We've got some pretty big numbers. You guys seem to be having a good day. What up, Natkins? How you doing? I use a PS5 on my capture card, so I had to rewatch different ones. Eventually got it settled. A cheap laptop was good done. Oh, I'm glad you got it settled. Your Webcam S3 or Insta360 Link Pro. Calm down, Rich. Okay, so I want to say this outright, straight away. Today is not sponsored. I apologize if I'm too loud. Today is not sponsored. There is no sponsorship today on this stream. I'm going to be talking about all the tech I saw at CES, but I was sponsored to go to CES by Insta360. Okay, so there's a lot of content about Insta360 because I spent a lot of time there. But today's not sponsored. I can say whatever I want. Now, with that said, calm down, Rich. I would 100% say the Insta360 Link Pro. I have it right here. I'm going to be honest, guys. This little camera might genuinely be the best webcam on the market. It's crazy. This thing is utterly insane. I'll just pull it up for you. Joe, you got again. Which one? It's the caps again. Stream Elements hates caps lock. Yeah, this thing is absolutely nuts. So I really wasn't expecting, I think I can say this. I wasn't expecting much from the webcam because I think all webcams they look good or bad depending on how good your lighting is, right? Like we all know that. If you watch my channel, you know that I constantly tell you buy lights, don't buy expensive webcams. But this thing is nutty. Like it's crazy. Both for picture quality and also for features. So the thing that's nuts about this is if you guys don't know much about sensor size, most webcams have like a 1/2 inch sensor, which is fine. That's all you really need in a webcam unless you're doing like a really good 4K. The original Link had a 1/2 inch sensor. This one has a 1/1.2 inch sensor, which that's a huge, 1/1.3. That's a huge jump. Like that's a big jump in sensor size and it looks beautiful. I'm going to talk about it a lot today because I have been playing with it a lot and it was one of the major things announced at CES. I think outside of like AI stuff and crazy stuff, this probably stole the show of announcements, which I got to help announce this. Isn't that crazy? I don't know about you guys, but like little old LJ from Stream Scheme going to CES and helping announce a major product is mind-blowing. Hey, I'm a big fan. 7 months into streaming, been able to make it a full-time job. Oh, sick nasty. Not just because of my videos, because you're hard work, mate. That's what that is. Love that camera. Glad I bought it over the OBS bot. You know what's interesting about OBS bot? I have had a lot of comments on my OBS bot Tail 2 video I released last week. And a lot of people said they were worried that the channel was about to become an OBS bot 2 sponsored channel. Is this a thing? You guys, when you watch tech creators, do you kind of like think, oh God, this tech creator is clearly in the pocket of like X brand and they only make content about X brand? Because I've never seen that as a concept. Like I've never had that as a worry for me. What's Obsbot? Sorry, Obsbot. Obsbot is a webcam company. They do other stuff. It's camera company is probably a fairer sentence. Price for the camera for the Link 2 Pro. Off the top of my head, I don't have it. It's kind of in the same line ballpark as the Yolocam S3 and like Elgato stuff. Obsbot did not buy my stream. They have not bought my stream at all. I'm trying to go hard on streaming. I did a 30-day challenge. Streaming consecutive engagements key. I mean, at the same time, I'm just gonna throw it out there. It's, you know, streaming is a reward for making good offline content, not the other way around. If you want to do a 30-day challenge, you should do a 30-day challenge of trying to make videos. Is the M50 good? Dude, Flamey, anyone who's watched this channel before knows that the key thing, if you want a good looking camera, is your lighting. Any camera is going to be fantastic if you light yourself well. I think in the description of today, I have some of the newer lights, the newer GL1Bs and GL1B Pros linked. And that's a really good option for you guys. What up, Parts Guy? All right, okay. Guys, should we start talking about the adventure to CES? I'll answer questions in general, so if you have questions about content creation in general as we go, feel free to throw them in. What up, Zexo? You said link is in here? In the description, not in the comments. In the description, not in the chat. Yeah, so I got essentially very little notice. I got an email from my agent being like, hey, do you want to go to CES in Vegas in like 2 weeks? And I was like, yeah, I'd be interested. And she was like, cool, I'll get back to you. And like a week passes, and it was like over Christmas, like New Year's, so everyone's on break. And my agent emails me with like 7 days left until CES is supposed to start. And she goes, yeah, we're all locked in. Book your flights, book everything, get your visa, get it all done. I'm not kidding, guys. I had to book flights, hotels, everything in like a 2-hour long period of just going ham, getting it all done, because I had to fly out in like 3 days. Because Australia is a day ahead of you guys. So I was like under the pump. 2 weeks notice is crazy. It's nuts. It's absolutely nuts. And I was really scared or nervous to fly to the US on such short notice. And I don't know if that's a weird thing to do, but like international travel, I've done a lot in the past and I was like fine with it. But the idea of going to the US on such short notice for like such a big event really freaked me out. And I decided, I was like, I'm not gonna say no to anything. I'm just gonna push this. And I ended up essentially just managing to barely pull it off. Like I was on no sleep. What was the hardest step to continue streaming? Like when the bump? I think the hardest step of streaming is when you hit plateaus and you think you're supposed to go live or shift your content. But in reality, plateaus just mean that you have a churn rate is too high and you need to focus more on making offline content. How long is the flight to America? I'm just going to do... That work? Yep, that worked. So here's some of the photos from me at the Insta360 talk. What up, Vass? How you doing? How long is this flight to Australia? It is about 22 hours, not including like layovers and stuff like that. So it's like 15, 16 hours on one flight to go from Australia to like, you know, LA or San Fran. And then you have to transfer. Dude, I'm not kidding, guys. I had a 2-hour layover in San Francisco. I have never run so fast in my life. I thought 2 hours would be fine. It took me 90 minutes to get into the fucking... 90 minutes to get through the passports. I got off the plane, I got in line, I looked around, and I realized I was genuinely fucked. I was like, oh fuck, I'm screwed, dude. There was no way I was making it through the passport lines and security and everything to get to my changeover. And so like, I get into San Fran, I get in line, 90 minutes passes. My plane is boarding. My plane is boarding at the domestic terminal. I'm in the international terminal. I have no idea how to get to the other terminal. And I'm like, what do I do? And I get up there, I look at it all, I say thank you, the person scans my fingerprints. I had to fingerprint myself entering the US. I had to give them my social media account. They had to like find out, I had to give them 2 persons of contact, 2 American citizens. Isn't that crazy? I had to give 2 American citizens so that I could visit the US. No wonder tourism is so low. I barely even know 5 people in my life. Anyway, and I land and I do it all. And I say thank you to the woman who like scans me through. My plane is boarding. I have 10 minutes to get to... I have 10 minutes to get to my plane. And I just start booking it through security. Like, I am just absolutely pelting it through security with my massive backpack on. I'm in, like, fucking riding boots. And we just have to, like, sprint it, right? And I'm going through like security scans. I'm going through everything. My plane is about to take off. And I'm like, there's no way I'm making it, but I'm still going to keep sprinting. I run up these stairs to get on like a train. I don't know why all these American airports have trains built into them, but they do. And I like get on a train takes me over there. I missed the first one and I'm still sprinting through the airport and I sprint up and I can see the terminal is there. And this guy yells out, he goes, "Are you LJ?" And I go, yeah, I am. And he goes, "We got a call and said you were running, so we held the flight for you." Isn't that nuts? I've never had someone do that in my entire fucking life. Ever, right? So I rock up, I hand him my boarding pass, I'm out of breath, I'm fucked, I'm absolutely ruined. I give it all and he goes, "Yeah, the very first passport place you stood at, they said that you started sprinting the moment they approved your entry. So they rang ahead to the terminal to your flight to say, hey, he's here, he's running, you should try hold it as long as you could for him." And I'm like, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And, and I walk onto the plane thinking, man, this country is so nice. And I'm met with just 150 people on this plane. I'm the last guy, and they're all staring at me like this. I literally hear one person mutter under their breath, fucking idiot. They were so angry, dude. They were so angry at me. But like, I did everything I could to get there. I landed and I was in lines or sprinting. That's it. When the entire flight was so pissed off at me. Hey, Kush, how you doing, man? But anyway, do Australians not go through customs? Australians do go through customs, but here's the thing. The way it works in Australia and every other country I've been to is that when you land in a country, there'll be like 20 passport offices and then like 20 different lines so that everyone can split up and get like processed fast. The way America works is there's like 30 passport stations, only 10 of them are open, and they have one giant line, and that's it. so you have to sit in line for so fucking long, no matter what. And that was every airport I went to. It was nuts. Anyway, so I at this point had been flying for like 19 hours, traveling for like 19, 20 hours, and I did not sleep on any of the planes. So I landed in Vegas, right? I landed in Vegas. I was absolutely dead. I was so screwed. And I was like, I checked my phone and I realized I had to give my Insta360 talk in 2 hours. I was like, oh God, oh shit. Okay, I've been awake like 30 hours, 33 hours at this point. I got 2 more hours to go. I need to get from the airport to CES. And I was so exhausted. And I essentially hopped in this cab, and this cab driver, the first thing she said to me was, "You here for the strip clubs?" And I was like, "What?" No, I'm here for CES. Do I look like someone who's here for the strip clubs? It was genuinely nuts. What up, Denver? How you doing, man? It's good to see you again. And I was like, no, I'm okay. I'm not here for the strip clubs. And she starts going, oh, you're going to CES then? Okay, cool. And I go, yeah. And she goes, well, welcome to America. I only moved here a year ago. I moved here from South Africa because I like driving with my windows down. And I was like, oh, that's a good point. You know, like I like driving with my windows down too. And so I started winding my window down, and she turns around and snaps me and goes, put that back up. It's not safe to have your window down on the Vegas Strip. Someone will grab your phone. And I was like, what? You just said, you just told me, you just fucking said that it was safe to do this, and this is the whole reason you moved here. And she was like, no, you can't do that. You can't do that at all. And I was like, okay, I'm sorry. Jesus. All right. Anyway, she drops me off at CES. At this point, I have like an hour until my talk. She's dropped me at the wrong convention hall. So I then have to walk like 20, 30 minutes to get to CES, right? I'm on like 30-ish, 33 hours, zero sleep. Like, guys, zero fucking sleep. I am exhausted. And I get there, I talk to the Insta360 team, and I help announce the camera. It was genuinely crazy. Like, so, just so I can kind of paint the picture a little bit. Hold on, let me go back to my chatting so I can go back one. Let me just try and paint the picture a little bit for you. So this is where I did my talk for Insta360. You can see there I am. There's me there. There's me there. So like you get to CES and it's this giant convention hall. There are like bomb sniffing dogs and security everywhere. You walk in the front of the main hall and the very first thing is the Insta360 booth. Like the very first thing. And it is fucking massive. Like all of these people are watching the talk. There's at least 100 people here and then like another 100 back here. And they're all just watching these presentations and these talks. I did, Kanan. Yeah, I did. And essentially the whole point of me being there was they wanted a content creator there to help talk about why you would pick why you pick a camera. And So I get up and I start talking about how I pick a camera quality. And I'm sure if you guys have watched the channel before, you know what I was like all about. I said I wanted, you know, really low f-stop, f1.8, f1.9, which is, you know, the Link 2 Pro has that. I wanted to keep the ISO low and add depth, which is why having a big sensor is good. The f1. It's a 1/1.3 on the Link 2 Pro. And then also color accuracy, skin tones, all these things. I want to talk about sharpness. And I just kept showing off different aspects of the camera. And it was crazy. The first talk I did, not just because I was on no sleep, I blacked out. I don't know about you guys, but when I do public speaking, if I'm like not totally fully confident, I kind of just go autopilot. And then like someone shows me a video later and I'm like, I have no memory. I have no memory of this. I was like, I have no idea what I said. I have no idea what I did. Who's the handsome man in the yellow beanie? Haven't worn that in a while. Of course they listened. You're a freaking expert at this. So, okay. Oh, sorry, Kanan. Stream Elements hates caps lock. Stream Elements, the bot, hates caps lock. I think I might try fix that. I apologize, my dude. I'll try update and fix it for you. But, okay. Autopilot is really relatable. Genuinely, I just fully shut down. No, you're good, Kanan. It's not your fault. Stream Elements sucks as a company and a business. Hot take, maybe. But yeah, I just talked about how much I look for, you know, low ISO for less digital noise. You know, I want people to be able to use one light rather than having to have like a massive lighting setup. Because you guys know that I've... it was the Facecam 4K that I covered recently. Can you press 1 in chat if you watched my Facecam 4K video? 2 in chat if you haven't watched it. I just need to know whether or not I should explain how much better this camera is than what is currently on the market. Because one of the things that blows me away about the one of the things that blows me away about this Insta360 Link 2 Pro is it's kind of equal price to a lot of the expensive cameras, but the jump in tech is kind of nuts. Maybe I should go over it a bit because it says you guys are saying a lot of 2s. All right, we'll go over it a bit because you guys are saying a lot of 2s. Anyway, I'll get into that in a second. I'll just finish my first day. So I do my talk, I black out, and I say thank you to the Insta360 people, and I have to do another talk the next day. But I say to them, I'm staying at a place called Circus, which is this giant circus-themed casino. It's very run down, but it was cheap, so I was like, whatever. And I said to the Insta360 team and to my agent, I said, yeah, it's like a 20-minute walk. I'm gonna walk to my hotel. I'll see and sleep for like 18 hours. Thanks so much, guys. I'll see you tomorrow. And everyone kind of freaked out. They were like, you can't walk. You can't walk to your hotel. That is messed up. And I was like, it's 20 minutes. And they go, you cannot walk in Vegas. You will get robbed or stabbed or like it's dangerous. And it's not going to be 20 minutes. It's going to be like a 90-minute walk. You're not allowed to walk in America. This is what I learned. I learned you cannot walk in the US. You can't walk anywhere, apparently. So my agent pushes my sleepy ass into an Uber and then gets me to my hotel. I go inside. Dude, Vegas is crazy. All of the hotels, all of the casinos are also malls. Like, there's like a Burger King, there's shops, grocery stores, there's like whole food courts. They're all just malls. And I asked someone and they said, yeah, because they want you to come into the casino and then never have to leave the casino. Which, nuts, that's wild. So anyway, I'm exhausted, so I decide I'm gonna get Burger King. So I walk up to Burger King and I order my food, and the woman on the other side, she goes, she says to me, she goes, what's that accent? And I was like, what do you mean? She goes, what's your accent? And I said, oh, I'm Australian. She goes, what's Australia? And I was like, it's a country. It's a country. It's a whole country. We're called Australia. It's Australia. And she goes, never heard of it. I'll look it up. I'm like, okay, cool. Anyway, next day, I walk past and she yells out to me. She goes, hey, I looked up Australia. And I said, oh, really? And I walk over to the Burger King. And she goes, yeah, I looked up Australia. And I go, oh, cool. So you kind of like know a little bit about us now? And she goes, yeah, you're like up there with Turkey and all those like Eastern European countries. She looked up Austria. She looked up Austria. Sorry, Kanan. I don't know what to do about we gotta just go easy on caps, and you'll be all right. But that was so fucking funny to me. Anyway, let's talk a little bit about gear. So you guys can learn a bit more about what's going on. So this was why I got invited to CES to help announce the Insta360 Link 2 Pro. Who's never heard of Australia? I don't know. Some people haven't. Okay, I'll try to run through this because I think you guys kind of get it. So I did a video about this little bad boy. Recently. This is the Insta360 Link 2. It's kind of a old schooler. It's an older version of the Link 2 Pro that got announced. This has a 1/2-inch sensor. It's full 4K. It of course has the gimbal because this is the new thing. People want tracking, right? What up, Wassicle? It's good to see you, dude. Can I ask a question? Can you press a 1 in chat if you care about webcams having these gimbals and the tracking built into them? Or do you guys not really care about that sort of thing? I can't really tell whether or not viewers like that or want that. If you don't care about it, throw a 2 in chat. Because so far all the comments have been like, yeah, that's so cool. I love that. But then I actually like, I can't tell whether or not it's just bias. Like people who watch the videos, of course, care about it. As a viewer or a creator, I mean, as a viewer, you probably don't care if someone's webcam does it. But as a creator, 1, 3, don't know if I should care. I mean, I guess if you're just a gamer or a just chat, oh no, just chatting stands up a lot. I didn't used to, but now I do. Really? That's interesting. 2, but I haven't recorded in a way that needs it. That's fair. So anyway, yeah, so I made a video about this one. And Insta360 really liked it. They said that my technical coverage was really good. They said most creators don't do technical coverage. They do like vibe coverage, where they essentially show off a camera and say like, it's really cool. Just trust me on it, guys. But apparently they liked that I was very technical. So they invited me over to announce this. This is the black version. There's also a white version, I believe. But this is the Insta360 Link 2 Pro. You can see some specs there. I think this did steal the show at CES. It has an f1.9, not f1.8, I apologize, it's a typo. It has a 1/1.3 inch sensor. You can see like the ISO needed to light you is only 800, which I think compared to other cameras like the OBSBot, which is 1/2 inch, or this one, which is 1/2 inch, whereas these guys needed like 1600. So they're like way better. It's like half the ISO needed to light it with no lighting. It's super color accurate. I was really, really impressed with how color accurate it was. And of course, it has a gimbal. Look, has a little 3-axis or 2-axis gimbal where it spins around and like follows everything. Has anybody made a vibe-based tech purchase decision? I think everyone does, right? Everyone, like so many people watch creators and then buy things based on the vibe they get. Creators, I think a lot of creators struggle because you guys don't really want a crazy in-depth breakdown that covers all the different like tech specs and crazy nutty stuff. You guys just kind of want to be told what's good and bad about a product. I try and do both though. Anyway, Insta360 Link 2 Pro, crazy. It's nuts for what it is. Spent 500 on a vibe based tech thingy just today. What'd you buy, Steamy? If you're willing to tell us. It's got amazing low light, by the way, this thing. I think it's because the sensor is so big. It's one of the biggest sensors in webcams on the markets. I was looking into getting the OBSBot stuff, then this dropped. Dude, the Link 2 Pro it's really changed what I think works best. If I can make the humble work for filming my TCG shows on my desk, then yeah. Vibe gets me in the door, then going deep on tech's amazing. Bro bought the tungsten cube. Could you imagine? That'd be sick. I wish I had a tungsten cube. Yeah, so I think this has the biggest sensor on the market right now. Oh, no. The Razer Kiyo Ultra Pro is technically a 1/1.2 inch sensor, whereas this is a 1/1.3. So it's very similar, but the issue with the Razer is it has terrible autofocus. So if you guys didn't know that about Razer, their autofocus is really fucking dodgy. Whereas this one is like perfect. Like I had no issues with this at all. I'll show you some more clips from it. So this is obviously my mirrorless, and then it's gonna move down and show you stuff. So this is what I've been using my Link 2 Pro for quite a bit. My little secret side channel that you guys don't know about. I have been doing some sketching and some artwork, and I really like using my Link 2 Pro as a desk camera, because obviously it can just like pan down like whenever I want to like show my art and my stuff. What's your opinion on all the people using like full frame cameras for webcams? People can do whatever they want. I'm personally not using a full frame, obviously. I'm using an APS-C mirrorless camera for this. This is an A6600. Very nice camera. It's total overkill. Like, genuinely total overkill. You can get the exact same look that I have going on right now with like a budget camera. Like a budget camera with like a long lens. That's really all you need. The thing that's crazy about this shot, right? The thing that's crazy about this shot is that this isn't lit. None of this is lit. This is all ambient lighting. So I have my Neewer key light set, which like light me here in front of my desk, whereas that's over there at my art station, and it's not actually lit. So this is just purely like pretty much a dark room, a dark area of my room where I'm just able to use the full 4K, the low f-stop, the big sensor to make it look really clean and really nice. It comes down to content anyway. The camera, I mean, some content needs a really fancy camera. Not most content though. Most people don't need anything fancy. But yeah, I'm really blown away by it. I'm genuinely really blown away by the Link 2 Pro. I think it's probably the best on the market. Now, it is expensive. I think it is maybe 300 USD, which is, or like 250 USD, which is really similar to other stuff. Is this using AI to do so? If yes, dope use. Sorry, can you explain what is AI use? I'm not using any AI here. Link 2 Pro with gimbal, it's 250, 2C. Thank you so much, Calm Down Rich. Here's the thing though. That's not that weird, is it? Because the YOLO cam is around 220 USD. And the YOLO cam doesn't have a gimbal built into it. It has a smaller sensor. It has worse color. The Link 2 lighting thingy. There's no. So there's no AI here. This isn't AI. There's no AI. This isn't like some weird lighting thing. It's just the camera is so good that it handles low light really well. That's all. But this is really just an excuse to show off that I can draw, kind of. The gimbal implementation is pretty sick, to be honest. Tons of people bought Logi Brio for like $200 when that came out. Yeah, I used to think, personally... Lower my mic a bit, I'm peaking. I used to personally think that a webcam should be like 100 to 150 USD. Maybe less. And I'm starting to think nowadays that like 200 bucks isn't that bad. 250 at a push when it's a gimbal, not that bad. Like, you don't have to buy the gimbal. You can buy the 2C, and the 2C has all the exact same image quality, but no gimbal, which is fine, right? Like, most people don't need the gimbal. What do you guys think? How much do you think you would pay for a full 4K solid image quality webcam? In your personal opinion, what would you go for? I'm starting to get a bit more in the upper end, that I'm okay with like a 200 bucks, 250 bucks. I'll do another one. So someone asked earlier how I feel about the OBSBot software versus the Link 2 or the Insta360 software. 300, 400, 300. That's a pretty big budget. You guys have pretty large budgets, that means. I would say. I don't think that's the average. I think the average person would probably do like 150. Buy once, cry once. I have the Brio, it works just fine, but I would need to spend some money on lighting. The newer GL1Cs and the GL1Bs and the GL1B Pro, they are so good, dude. I've covered them so much. If you watch the channel, you know how much I love the Neewer products. We're actually gonna talk about them. I met Neewer at CES. I'm gonna talk about them soon. So, to the person who asked about the OBSBot versus the Insta360, Insta360 software, 1,000 times better. Like, so much better. So this is me, this shot here, right here that you're looking at. Sorry, okay, so there are 3 shots. There's one that is my mirrorless camera. There's one that's a Link 2 Pro, and then there's one that is the Link 2, original Link 2. And that's there, that's the Link 2 original one right there. I've just made it out of focus for my starting soon screen. I found with the Insta360 software, I could essentially get my phone, I could scan a QR code in my Insta360 software, and I could literally just fucking control every single webcam I had plugged in. At one point, I had 4 webcams plugged in, and I was controlling all of the Insta360 webcams just with my phone. And it was so easy to do. It was so clean. They were auto tracking. I could control my ISO, everything. OBS bot, I found, had a bit of a delay. It was a bit more laggy. And genuinely, I struggled with the controlling and like panning and zooming and rotating that came with the OBS bot. I think it's fine, but the Insta360 is just like a step above all. And good night, Kanan. Have a nice night, mate. If I had to say, I would definitely say Insta360 software is definitely better. California. What's this one? Oh yeah, this is also the same thing. So you can see, this is going to be me using my phone to manually control all of these things. Very cozy room, looks dope. It doesn't even look like that anymore. I've changed the whole thing. This was shot a few weeks ago. So this was me when I was testing. I was trying to break the Link 2 Pro. Is it USB 3 or USB-C? I'm using these as USB-C. Well, technically I'm using these as fiber optic USB-C because I wanted to have them all over my room. So I bought these like 10 meter long USB-A to USB-C fiber optic cables, Rich. And then I would thread the cable like along my wall. Like if I pause it there, you can actually see I have my cable on the floor, like threaded along the floor there just for this testing. And then it runs up and it clips up onto this like metal, I've got like a metal poster on my wall and I just clipped my camera to that. And so, yeah, so you can kind of see that I'm just moving around and controlling everything from my phone. Do any of these support something like Wi-Fi, RTMP options? I don't think so. I don't really think that's who this is designed for. Like this isn't like a Tail 2 or the OBSBot stuff where they have things like that. This is more, this is a more traditional webcam. And I think a lot of the quality you get from the webcam is because of the plugged in. So how many cameras was I using? In this footage here, I was using 3. My mirrorless and 2 Link 2s. One was a Link 2 Pro. But I have had 4 or 5 plugged in and it seemed to work just fine. But that's not all who I saw. Wait, what app are you controlling it with? My phone. So the app is, all the cameras are plugged into my computer. In that stuff, all the cameras are plugged into my computer. And then I just I scan a QR code on my phone and it opens, it opens a browser on my phone. And that browser on my phone, I'm then able to use. Everything I want. It's great. It's genuinely amazing. I'm thinking about getting a 2C product when I get the money. Should I go straight for the Pro? Caleb, I absolutely think it's worth it. Like, I know that sounds crazy because, like, technically I was sponsored to go to CES to talk about it, but I think the tech speaks well enough for itself, right? Like, it's a massive jump in sensor quality from the 1/2 inch to the 1/1.3 inch. The 4K is crisper because of it. The f1.9 is still really solid for the f-stop. The color accuracy is great. Like, Insta360 essentially took one of their pro camera sensors from like their really nice action cams and stuff like that, and then put it in the Insta360 Link 2 body, and it just works so nicely. Like, it's just so solid, so confident. It's absolutely the way to go, I personally think. And I'm not sponsored today either, to clarify. Did you link it to a Streamdeck yet? I don't own a Streamdeck anymore, calm down, Rich. Well, I do, but I don't use it. I don't use the Elgato ecosystem anymore because the Elgato ecosystem has just kind of... It's not like one particular thing has gone wrong. It's more like Elgato have had like 100 different decisions, have made 100 different business decisions over the past year or more, where every time they make one of these decisions, I get pushed further and further out of the ecosystem. You know? Like, their key lights having terrible connectivity and doing less but still costing an insane amount. Their Streamdeck being made useless unless you make an account with them to use their marketplace, which their marketplace app is also really laggy and dodgy. You know, they originally made their Wavelink software force you to buy their expensive microphones, which are all condenser and stuff like that. And then the Facecam 4K. The Facecam 4K came out, and I was obviously sponsored to review it, and that was a really difficult review to do because, you know, the sensor on it's quite small. The F4, it has an F4 on it, which means you need a lot of light. Like, I had 2 big fancy lights blasting me, and I was still getting noisy footage. And they were like, you gotta add your noise reduction. And then I added the noise reduction to get rid of that noise on the Facecam 4K. And suddenly it wasn't even a 4K image. It was soft. You know what I mean? So I don't use Elgato's ecosystem. I just find that they've slowly pushed me out of the ecosystem. But I got to see Shure. Obviously, everyone loves Shure, the Shure SM7B, but I got to see a bunch of their new products, which is really cool. For example, they have this like MoveMic, which I thought was really neat. This was a really cool little microphone. It works purely over their own encoder. It's fully wireless, and you can just control it from your phone. And I was like, wow, you could control the polar pattern on it, so you could change how it was working. And the thing that was really cool was while I was there, this media company came in to the area, and they were trying to use lav mics to get a bunch of interviews. But what happened was their lav mics were using the same bandwidth as everyone else's lav mics. And so they kept having all these dropouts and disconnection issues. And so the Shure guys were like, here, use this, and just gave it to them to use for the day. And this thing, because it connects directly to their own encoding, they were able to use it perfectly. It wasn't interfering with all the other people as well. So they just had it plugged in, and they went around and they filmed the whole thing, did all their stuff with this mic instead. And I just thought that was such a cool thing to do. Like, Shure were like so confident in their product. They were so aware of the problem the guy was facing. They were just like, here you go. This is what you need. This is what works. I have the Facecam 4K, but added filters and extra lighting, plastic all around. I mean, you can make it work, but I don't understand the idea of buying something that's designed like that. Like, it doesn't even have autofocus. So most of the time, people end up putting that fucking the Facecam 4K up, and then they're soft. You know what I mean? Like, I saw several content creators upload reviews, and they were just soft because they weren't sat in the focus depth, and there was no autofocus. But yeah, I thought that was really cool by Shure to do that. I spoke to the Shure engineer for like literally 90 minutes. We chatted way too long. It was very nerdy. It was insanely nerdy, to be honest. But then they had some other cool stuff as well. Like this one, where is it? The MV88 USB-C. So this was a really, really cool microphone. This just like plugged into your phone, and then you could just use it. Polar Pro filter with 4K camera is more than the Link Pro. It's more expensive. It is an Esto. The Facecam 4K in general is a very expensive camera, and it's designed in a very weird way. Yeah, the MV88, I might be picking one of these up. I was really impressed. It has a amazing app that comes with it with full controls, which I thought was really nuts. It had this really great system where you could change from a different polar pattern. It was reversible, so you could aim it wherever you want. It worked with Blackmagic camera recording apps. It was really, really solid. I was really impressed. And I think it's like 80 bucks, which is great, especially because it's really not intimidating. I might be picking one up so that I can record on the floor, like when I go to cons and stuff like that, with decent audio. Because I'm not a fan of lav mics anymore. I think lav mics are kind of crappy because you have to like spend a bunch of time miking someone up, and that is like a really invasive process. To mic someone up with a lav mic can be really delayed and really rough. So I love the idea that I could just like plug it in and go for it. Does it have any AI for instant noise reduction? Rich, I got to play with it, and they did have noise reduction stuff built in, but one of the cool things about this, do I have the recording of the software here? This one might be the recording of the software. Yeah, it's here. So I'll just move myself. So they have this really cool app. And inside it, you can change so much stuff, such as like your gain, obviously. You can change all these different things. But they have this system called Auto Leveler, which has the built-in noise reduction, has the built-in limiters, compressors. It's really clever. Like, we got to play with it and test it, and I was shocked at how good it sounded on the floor. Like, I'm on the con floor, and it was amazing. Are you not going to get a lav with a windsock and hold it in front of your face like all the cool kids? No. I'm okay. I don't think I want to do that. I don't think I need to. Although I love that I am such a pro streamer that I completely forgot I need my camera when I built this up so I could show you guys footage. But yeah, you can see it's got like all the filters, high pass filters. It's got all your equalizers built in, which is really crazy. This probably is one of the best microphone apps I've ever used on a tablet or phone. which was nuts. Your audience doesn't know if you're talking to them or to eat a cookie. People get really mad at TikTokers for strapping lav mics to like toothbrushes and stuff like that. But I don't think the people who get mad at that realize people are doing it because when you're scrolling through TikTok or Shorts and you see someone holding a toothbrush, it's weird and it catches your eye less so than like anything else. People are just trying to go for the shock factor. But yeah, MV88, really, really cool. I think the software was awesome. I was really shocked by how solid it was. Obviously, this isn't something you guys are like desperate for. You guys use, you know, your streamers, your content creators. You're not out on the field doing stuff on your phone, but I really liked it because I think it would help me going to conventions quite a bit. But it was really funny. I was talking to the Shure team and I was talking about how everyone buys Shure SM7Bs as streamers. And this is literally like one of the big engineers at Shure. And I said, yeah, everyone buys these like Shure SM7Bs. And he just went, oh, I don't know why they do it. Streamers don't need a Shure SM7B. It's so stupid. Like the dude, he works there at the company, right? Like he's literally works at the company and he's complaining about people buying it, which is true. People don't need this fucking microphone. It's so overpriced and expensive. I'm sorry, Steamy Stugler. It's the caps lock. Stream Elements hates it. I gotta turn it off. I think I'm gonna turn it off. Caps protection. We are not needing caps protection today. I also bought the Shure SM7B. Me too. I bought it because I got told to. Like these big content creators, these big content creators will be like, yeah, you gotta get the Shure SM7B. And it's like, no, you don't. With zero EQ, it sounds like a mid mic. Well, that's the point, right? Like I once said in a video, the power of Shure SM7B is that it's very flat sounding, which means that you can EQ it however you want. And this audio engineer was like, no, that's not correct. And I was like, yeah, that's literally the point. I was using the Blue Yeti before on the HyperX, which are fine mics. The problem is they're condenser microphones. The gain it needs is nuts. But also the problem is that I currently have not used a single streaming mixer that hasn't required extra gain from a cloud lifter. GoXLR says that it can power a Shure SM7B. Nah, cloud lifter is needed. Rode Procaster, absolutely 100% still needed. Like it's bullshit. Shure SM7B is a very good mic, but if you're just some random streamer using a headset mic, you don't need it, yeah. Man, you really fell off after COVID? That's crazy. Not really. I think people don't realize how little I work these days. Thoughts on Elgato mics? They're overpriced. They're limited. They don't do anything special. You know what I mean? I guess everyone was wanting to stream during COVID. Throwback, can I ask, when you say I fell off, do you mean like in terms of views? Because the channel is getting just as many views as it ever has in terms of views. Or are you meaning in terms of stream viewers? Because stream viewers, I'm still fine on my actual channels. This is just a Stream Scheme one. And also, it's one of those things where I think people in their head, he's not trolling, right? I assume he's not trolling. If he is, then I'm probably a little bit too socially inept. I think in people's heads, they have an idea when they look at a content creator. They assume they're doing everything they can to be massive. You know what I mean? Like that in their head, they're like, I want to be massive. So they're probably doing everything they can to be massive. But in reality, I barely work. Like I'm very aware of the fact that my lack of drive to be a big creator, to be the biggest, is one of the reasons why I am never going to be massive. I just vibe. I'd rather spend time with my family, with my 2-year-old. I do very little work, and I know people think that's kind of like falling off, but everyone's idea of success is different, right? Like I don't want to work a 9-to-5 soulless job. And if content creation was me trying to be massive, then that would be me having to work a 9-to-5 soulless job. So I do this and I just chill, right? And it's so much nicer just to chill and make gaming videos on my other channel and upload here when I want to. And this is the first time I've gone live on this channel in, what, 2 years now? Just a heads up, you have the Insta360 Link twice. Caleb, I think I have one for the Link 2 Pro and one for the other one. There's two. The peace all warriors strive for. Sean, 100%, right? I just remember seeing your channel recommended over 3-4 years ago. Now they don't really recommend you. Maybe because I was into streaming. Now I don't really consume. I mean, throwback. Yeah, you're probably not going to see me if you're not trying to stream. But the channel now gets way more views. Where is the Twitch channel name? I don't stream on Twitch anymore, Papakas. I stream on a YouTube channel, but I don't promote that YouTube channel because if you've watched this content before, you know that if you promote a YouTube channel, like say like everyone who's watching me on this one wants to watch me because they want to learn how to be streamers. One of my biggest mistakes was when I made a gaming channel, I promoted it here and I suddenly had like thousands of people subscribed who only wanted to watch stream advice, and it just killed that side channel. Like that side channel that I had died and I had to start a whole new one and not show anything. It's showing under the Neewer prompted label. Thank you, Caleb. I will fix it post stream. Thank you. How much can I earn while not seeming like a fraud or a bum? I don't know what you mean by that. But yeah, I don't know. I think the channel right now in terms of viewership gets more views a day than like ever before. I'm still bringing in a lot, but I also work like maybe 2 days a week. Like I don't know. I think a lot of people see success as wanting to be massive. I just see success as wanting to put money in my account, make something I love, hang out with the community, have time for my family. I never wanted to be a massive content creator. It seems like it sucks too. I don't know about you guys, but like I watch a lot of big creators and they seem depressed as hell, dude. They seem so fucking tired. I went to PAX Australia last year or the year before, and I was talking to some of the biggest creators like in Australia, and they all seem really like streamers in Australia, and they all seem really fucking sad. They'll be like talking about how they have to go live like every single day for 6 hours, how like they're burned out, how their viewership is dipping. Like they got like 6,000 fucking average viewers and they're like just sad. You talked to Pestily? I didn't talk to Pestily. But also in the context of what we're talking about right now on Andrew, if I said, yeah, everyone just seems really sad, and then went and listed a bunch of the names I spoke to, I think I'd be kind of a dick. So I won't say who I spoke to. That used to be me too. Just like grinding. I don't know, man. The way I look at it is, you know, I'm very happy and chill. I feel like Pestily is big chillin'. I think a lot of people, I think there's a nice underlying group of people who are just chilling. You know what I mean? And I think that strive to be bigger than you are is really depressing. But you get Twitch videos, just got Installing 2 as a present myself. Thanks for all the tips. No worries, JJ. Hope you enjoy it, man. See, that's what I mean, right? Like, that's nice. You know what I mean? That's chill. JJ is enjoying the videos. You guys are probably enjoying the videos. Why should I do anything else? Although, I will say, again, that mindset that I have is the reason why I'm never going to be massive. Because once I reached a point in my life where I was sustainable, stable, could put food on the table and pay my rent and like have a nice life, I really checked out. You know what I mean? And I think that's a good thing to understand. A bad thing overall, but a good thing to understand is that I reached the point where I was successful in what I wanted, and I chilled. I've really enjoyed my really small niche community. California, I know the worst times in my career have been when my videos have left my audience. I uploaded a very sarcastic parody of a news show where I talked about the new Twitch changes. It got like 180,000 views in like 2 days. That was probably the most depressing experience I've ever had. Like, genuinely, people in the comment section completely missing the point. I was making fun of Twitch streamer Twitter, which we all agree streamer Twitter is one of the worst places on the internet. And I was making fun of them, and someone commented being like, preach. And I recognized who they were. They were a streamer who had just been cancelled for sexually assaulting another Australian streamer. And they were being like, yeah, preach, streamer Twitter sucks. And it's like, no, motherfucker. You're literally a piece of shit. That's not what it is. So the moment a video of mine like leaves my space, I mute comments because I realized at that point, like, I'm good. There's also the pro athlete mindset where your career not necessarily long-term stable. At least that's my view. 100% Vass. right? 100%. You are the problem. Exactly. That was it, JJ. I replied to that person and I said, please do not try and relate to me. I am making fun of you. You are a piece of shit. Because I was like, I literally had seen that creator get called out with evidence and proof like a week later that she had like assaulted someone, and she admitted to it and then was like complaining. And I was like, what is wrong with you? Why are you in my comment section? Get out. Anyway, sorry, a little bit of a tangent there. I apologize for that tangent. Should we keep going? Should we keep talking about CES? SmallRig. Okay, this was really cool. I know a second ago I said that I didn't like labs anymore, but this was really, really cool. All good, JJ. This was SmallRig are releasing, I think it's called the S70, and it is essentially a 2 transmitter, 2 receiver lavalier mic set with a safety track of like -6 dB built into it. So essentially you can have two lapels recording on 2 different people for an interview, run back directly to your camera or run back directly to your phone, have safety tracks, have all of it built in, everything. And then it's only $90. It was really, really cool. I was really, really impressed by this, especially because SmallRig in my head aren't a microphone company. I don't know. In my head, they're like that's it there. If you can't see it. Look how oh, wait, you can't see it because of me. I'm a dum-dum. There you go. Now you should be able to see it. That tiny little red thing there, that is the SmallRig lav mic. There's no wires or anything on it. It's just clip it on and go. It's tiny. It's so fucking cool. There was a lot of stuff like this. But also CES, super AI heavy at the moment. That's another one there. They have different colors, so it all blends in, which I thought was nice. I don't know though. I don't think you guys need lav mics, I guess. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. I feel like for me, I was excited about lav mics and just generally on-the-go mics because I like to film a lot of more live action stuff. But I think most people are streaming just in their office. People don't do cooking or like gym streams or stuff on the average. But then this is it here, plugged into the camera. So it's really small. It's tiny, 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 tiny. And it also plugs into a phone if you wanted it to. And there you go. That is it without being attached to someone. It's smaller than my thumb, which I thought was neat. Very, very neat. I think there's also a discount code there in the background if you wanted it. There you go. That's a good shot of it. Isn't that nuts? Technology is getting so small now. Like genuinely, I'm kind of blown away by how compact they're getting with the quality not dropping. It's crazy to me how huge the selling shovels industry is for content creation. Vas, can you explain what you mean by selling shovels? I apologize. I know I should probably understand what you mean by that. And I have an assumption in my head, but I have a rule nowadays that I don't like to assume what someone is trying to say. I like to ask for clarification. I want to do cooking, but I don't see much of a market for streaming, more of a VOD consumption piece. I think cooking California is actually a really good niche. I personally, I think making really high quality cooking short format is really big. And then that converts quite well to people liking cooking streams by the same creators. The problem with cooking as a niche is that cooking is very high skill level. And people want a very, very high skill level when they watch that content. They don't want to watch like an amateur person cook. They want to watch like the best person ever cook. When you're in the cooking niche, when you're like a comedy content creator, they want to watch you fail. Like in the gold rush, people who made money sold shovels, picks, and lodging. Oh, I hear what you're saying. So you're saying brands selling shovels or education creators selling shovels? So do you see it more of a YouTube platform or a Twitch platform? I think personally, when it comes down to it, you can test both and find what works for you. I don't think anyone's going to tell you where your content should be and get it perfectly correct every time. I think there's no problem with experimentation and following your own route. Papa Cars, for starting making live streams, do you think YouTube is a better option nowadays? Papa, sorry, I just heard myself say the word papa to someone in chat, and it felt very funny in my head. I don't think there's any platform that is better than any other platform for starting out nowadays. The truth of content creation and streaming is that you're going to be forced to make YouTube videos and YouTube shorts and TikToks and all that jazz and cover, you know, you're supposed to make offline content, build a big catalog, and then go live to that audience. You know what I mean? I see streaming as a reward for making good offline content. That's why I don't really go live on this channel very often as well, because, you know, I don't stream education most of the time. I like to stream silly fun gameplay, and this channel I would never do that here. But yeah, I think offline content, make offline content, and then when you've made a lot of offline content, you'll have an audience sitting there who's excited to see you. Both, but I don't include you in the category because you're also a gold miner yourself. Thank you, Vass. I appreciate that. That's very kind. But yeah, these are cool. The SmallRig had a really cool, really cool design for what they were doing. I had an issue though. A lot of brands who I tried to go talk to didn't know anything about the products they were pushing. It was really, really weird. Like, I would try and talk to a brand. I'd walk up and ask a really simple question like, hey, what's this camera's, you know, f-stop and what's their sensor size? And the guy wouldn't know the answer. Like, they wouldn't be able to tell me like, oh, it's a 1/2-inch sensor and it's an f1.28. And I was like, why are you here? Why are you here representing this product if you don't know anything about it? This is Neewer. Neewer released a really, really cool prompter, a monitor. It's like going into a Best Buy. In terms of like, you go in there and they know nothing about the products you're asking questions about. Where is your editing Resolve for? Where's your editing course for Resolve? Dude, it's covered. Like, there are so many hundreds of videos, thousands of videos about how to edit videos. And the problem is that what I bring to the table is going to be so heavily covered already. And what isn't covered by me, what isn't covered already is just gonna be me being like, practice, just keep editing. That's it. Learning a skill is just learning it in context. Start it, try it. When you hit a difficulty, Google how to solve the difficulty, keep moving. That's how you learn skills nowadays. Anyway, Neewer have this really cool prompter. So this is just a monitor that you can attach to a mirror, and on the back is a camera mount, and you can mount your phone, you can mount a real camera, you can mount a webcam, and then you just run anything you want. You just drag stuff onto the monitor. It's called the X11 TM8. There you go. And so I was looking at it here and I thought it was really cool. It's just a nice, solid teleprompter here, but you can put anything you want there. You could put Twitch chat there. You could put, you know, short scripts, YouTube scripts. You could put videos. You could put really whatever you wanted. It's just a monitor and a mirror. And the price is a lot cheaper than the Elgato prompter. It's like, I think it's like 180 USD, so 300 AUD. But the prompter, the Elgato prompter, I think they just did a price drop. So I think they're like 250, 260 USD now. Which is funny, right? Because don't you think it's interesting that Neewer kind of just keep releasing products that are either equal in quality or a little bit better, but still cheaper than Elgato? Like their lighting, for example, I've talked about their lighting a lot. You guys probably have heard about getting recommended the Elgato key lights, but they're super expensive. They only do bicolor and they have connection issues. And then you look at like Neewer and they've released like the GL1B, the GL1B Pro, the GL1C, and they have more features built in, better connectivity. They have physical controls on their back. So if the connectivity has an issue, which might have never had that, I can control it from my back. Can't do that with Elgato. Neewer, I think, is probably one of my favorite brands. I'm really happy that they're in the industry and they're in the space because I think they're very consumer friendly and they make really cool stuff. You can have different sizes of it too, it seems. Of the Elgato or of the prompter? I didn't look into whether the prompter has multiple sizes. I know Elgato just released an XL, which is why the other one got a price drop, yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I think with Neewer, it's one of those things where I was really surprised to see that they dropped this because I didn't expect this to have... Oh, the mirror has different sizes. Okay, thanks, Cal. I was kind of surprised about this because I don't see many people caring about having a monitor prompter. You know, like I didn't really understand why people got the Elgato one in the first place because I use a teleprompter, but mine is just like I drop my phone. I just put my phone into it and then I use my phone as a teleprompter, and it works perfectly. You know, mine costs $80, which is awesome. That's sick. But people seem to really like the idea of having a piece of like a monitor there. Actually, thinking about this, I don't think it would even work for me. Any prompter wouldn't like any physical monitor prompter wouldn't work for me because my graphics card only handles 3 outputs, doesn't it? So it's a really niche case, personally, to see someone using these things. But I like the Neewer released one. I think it's really cool that Neewer released one. Who else did I meet? Oh, I met Rode. Can I say, as a Rode fanboy, I'm kind of like disappointed. I feel like Rode used to be this really cool company, this really exciting company that did really cool shit. And now they just kind of en masse keep releasing products that are half-baked or half-cooked and are missing a lot of features, but also are really expensive. Like the thing they were showing off, I didn't even film it because I was like, I don't give a shit about this thing. They were showing off this like Rode video capture card thing that captures like 4 video and captures like 4 XLRs. And I was like, who's this for? And they're like, it's for everyone. And I was like, how much is it? And they're like, 900 USD. And I was like, okay, so it's not for everyone. It's fucking nuts. I don't know if you answer this, but you're gonna cover VTuber stuff, or is it something you just don't want to do or don't care about? Steamy, I have reached out. I have a rule on this channel that I do not talk about something unless I feel confident that I understand it to at least like a good degree. I have reached out to, over the years, dozens and dozens and dozens of medium to big VTubers, to VTubing agents, to VTubers who do education content. I've offered to pay people. I have done a lot of work to try and get experts in the VTubing space to come on the channel and do videos with me. Like, they don't even have to edit them half the time. Just like even interviews, everything. I cannot get a single VTuber to be involved. Even the ones who have replied back and been interesting, no, they end up falling through or being like, nah, I don't really care about this. And that's fine. So I've always been stuck a bit because I want to cover, but I can't. The video add-on for the Rodecaster Pro 2, it can be an add-on, Rich, but apparently it's also just software. That was the other thing, is like, it was like really weird. They were kind of calling it an add-on, but they were also calling it a standalone. And that was the other thing they had. I asked them about the Streamer X, which, if you guys don't know, the Rode has the Streamer X, which is like their stream controller. It's a capture card and an XLR pickup for like a mic. And I asked him about it, and I said, oh, cool. So you can control, if I plug in my console, I was like, if I plug my console in to this Streamer X, I can control my console's audio at the touch of a physical controls. Because that's what, if you're buying a capture card that is also built into a mixer, that's what you want, right? Like, you're not buying a capture card that's also a mixer for any reason outside of the fact that you just want to be able to control your console's audio with a physical mixer. And I said that. So I said, oh, cool. So you plug it in and you can use the Streamer X to control your console's audio from a physical mixer. And the guy goes, no. No, I can see why you'd think that and why you'd want that, but no, that's not how it works. And I was like, this is the most Rode thing I have ever seen in my life. Like, literally, I have never seen a company more like Rode who just refuse to think about who their consumer is and who their product is for, and then focus on making it for them. Like, why the fuck would you make a product for streamers that is a capture card for capturing consoles and then not give you the physical controls to control the console audio? I'm not tabbing out of my game to control my audio. That's so stupid. Anyway, that's Rode. That's Rode in a nutshell. I saw them promoting something called a Core, which is a video add-on for the Pro 2. Rich, that's the other thing, is they release so many products and they all overlap each other that it's so confusing to know what is what anymore. Like, I remember I got sent their lav mics, and it was like the wireless Miis. And then I got sent their next one, like a month later, it was the Mi 2s. And then I got sent another one like 2 months later, it was the Mi 2 Go's. And I said to Rode, I was like, guys, I'm still trying to work on the video for the first one. What is the difference between all these three? And I was like, and they kind of just bluntly said, each one is more expensive than the last, and each one does something the other one doesn't, and none of them do all of it. And I was like, that's a bad product, guys. That's a bad product. Now you're telling me I can't recommend one good product that covers everything. I have to recommend 3 different products that don't do anything, that don't do everything well. Like, they do everything kind of badly. You have to jump between apps to use it and one to set it up. Exactly, Ernesto. And that sucks. I want a physical controller, which is why I love my Bridgecast. My Bridgecast is a physical controller on my desk that I use to control my console audio, my stream audio, everything. What else? What else did I see? I saw eMeet. I saw eMeet webcams. Have you guys heard of eMeet webcams? eMeet are one of like the biggest selling camera companies in the world. They are very budget. Like, I'm talking like 50, 60 bucks per webcam, 4K webcams. But the problem is, I walked up to the booth, this massive eMeet booth. And the first guy walked up to me and goes, "Hey, can we help you?" And I said, yeah, I'm just looking at this Pixie, this camera you guys have. Can you tell me some of the specs? And he goes, yeah, it's 4K. And I was like, yeah, they have the Pandas, Rich, but I wasn't looking at that. I was looking at one of their gimbal ones. And I said, what? Can you tell me about this? And he goes, yeah, it's 4K. I go, okay, what's the sensor size though? Is it real 4K? And he goes, I'm not sure. I go, okay, well, what's the f-stop? And he goes, I'm not sure. And I go, okay, what FPS can it do? He goes, I don't know. And I'm being nice here. He actually most of the time didn't even understand the question, like, that I was asking. And then he went and got, he said, you know who would answer though? The product manager would know this. And he takes me over and introduced me to the product manager. And I say to the product manager, yeah, I just kind of wanted to know some tech specs about the webcams. Like, you know, give me your f-stop, give me your sensor size, your FPS, all those sorts of things. Like, I'd love to know the bells and whistles. Big pause. And he goes, don't really know. Hold on, I'll get it. And he has to go get his laptop and pull up like an Excel spreadsheet with all of the information in it. And I was like, it's a little bit rough. Like, this doesn't give me confidence in the product. Like, I don't have confidence in the product if the team behind it don't even confidently, you know all of the specs. And so that was really difficult. And he showed it all to me. And the problem with the eMeet stuff that I found was they were all really tiny sensors, like 1/2 inch or smaller sensors. They had 4K, but of course the sensor's so small that it doesn't really feel like real 4K. And then that was the other problem, was he was showing me products and he was like, you know, we're going to release an 8K webcam. And I was like, dude, most people don't even use 4K. You know what I mean? Like, most people don't even have 4K TVs. They don't have 4K anything. Like, why are you guys doing 8K? And I said, what kind of sensor are you going to have on that 8K? And he goes, probably similar sensor sizes to now. And I was like, well, it's not 8K then, is it? Because the sensor's not going to get bigger. 8K for a webcam. Yeah, that's what I kind of said. And I was like, and they were really lovely people, but like, it just seemed like really out of touch with what people need. You know what I mean? Like, I've only recently started recommending 4K webcams, and that's not because I think you need a 4K webcam. It's because there is just really good cameras that just happen to also be 4K. Can I ask a question though? I know a lot of people are lurking, and that's totally chill. But can you throw a 1 in chat if 4K is something you care about, just as a viewer and creator? And chuck a 2 in chat if you don't care about 4K being a resolution. I'm just kind of curious because it's very rare that I get a chance to like one-to-one ask a question and get a response or reply. It's like how modern computer mice have 100,000 DPI. Yeah, people just like the big number. 8K webcams, but Twitch is only experimenting with 1440. Yeah, California, exactly, right? One, I'm curious about it. One, in general. I don't know. I think there's nothing wrong with 4K on a 1080 timeline so that you have like a nice big crisp image you can cut into without quality loss. But if the sensor's not there, the sensor's not matching up, then like, you know, but my monitor is not 4K. But that's what I mean, right, Papa? It's like you kind of go 4K and then you crop it in. 4K just matters for streaming or for YouTube. Vass, when you say that, do you mean like in the sense that it matters because you can, like what I'm saying, like chuck it on chuck 4K on a 1080 timeline and then crop in? My phone and laptop, 1440p is good. I guess I do take photos and ship everything off my phone as full 4K nowadays. Live stream 1080, recorded content 4K. Okay, I was recording a video recently. It was 100 days of Valheim. I hope I don't accidentally leak my side channel for that. But either way, I played I haven't released that video. It's coming soon. But it was 100 days of Valheim, and I had to stop recording in 4K because holy crap, the file size was getting way too out of hand. 4K gives way higher bitrate on the video. That only matters when you're under 2,000 subs, Steamy. Once you're over like 2,000 subs, you always get given the automatic better encoder on YouTube. The whole 4K or 1440p thing, genuinely, you only get the bad encoder when you're very, very, very small. So don't stress too much once you're a little bit bigger. What? Do you guys not know that? That's like a thing. So YouTube has like a couple different encoders, and when you're really small and you're uploading videos, if it's 1080p, you get given the smaller or like weaker encoder, so your footage looks a little bit worse. And then on YouTube, when you get a little bit bigger, or if you upload in 2K or 4K, you automatically get access to the nicer encoder. It's like a thing. When I started my new channel, I was uploading a video about Inside, one of those, that old school like horror left to right walking sim. And I had to re-upload that video, not publicly, unlisted, like 5 times with different settings until I got good enough bitrate and good enough codecs on YouTube that you could actually see what was going on. Because the blacks, the darkness in the video, the darkness in the game that was in the video made it so hard to see everything. So I had, like, the bitrate just died. So I had to essentially just keep on like changing stuff. And eventually what fixed it was, because I was a brand new channel, what fixed it was I uploaded at 2K 60 FPS, and that unlocked the better YouTube encoder for me, which meant people could actually see what was happening in the dark areas of the video, and it wasn't all just like solid black bars everywhere. But that's the thing. But then once you're over like 2,000 subs and you're bringing in viewers, you automatically get the new nice encoder. I want 4K because I feel like I'm supposed to care. Isn't that so classic? It's like, I don't really care about it, but I think I'm supposed to because everyone keeps yelling at me that I'm supposed to. What about 1080p versus 1080p enhanced bitrate? Are you talking about for Twitch? Because I don't use enhanced bitrate and a lot of enhanced stuff on Twitch. I don't care about Twitch as like a, you know, tech channel. It's one of those things where Twitch for me is like, if you stream on Twitch, you shouldn't be worried about tech. You should be worried about making good content. On YouTube, I don't even think you need to you don't need to worry about an enhanced bitrate setting on YouTube though, Steamy, because YouTube doesn't have a bitrate cap. Like you can just, like right now I'm streaming 1080p with 13,000 bitrate. Oh, Steamy, those aren't uploads, those are viewers. That's how you view something. That's not going to change anything as a content creator. Don't worry about that. What you upload is what you upload. You're going to be fine. I'm going to be chill and dandy. You're looking at it from a viewer point of view, not from a creator point of view. You don't need to stress about that. I also got to see this cool drone. This is called the anti-gravity drone. This is really funny. It's essentially a drone that lets you do first-person flying. He was having so much fun, but I'm sorry, if I have to wear a headset that makes me look like a little bit dorky, I'm not sure I'm doing it. So, okay, here's my question for you, chat. Would you wear that headset? You want to fly your drone around. Do you put that headset on? 1 in chat if you wear the headset, 2 in chat if you don't. I'm not making fun of the guy because he was having a grand old time. He was having so much fun. I don't think I have the confidence to go out to like the local park or to go film a project and I chuck that headset on and I'm like walking around pretending that I'm like not aggressively embarrassed in the privacy of my own home. Yeah, but it's a drone, Steamy. You can't fly a drone in the privacy of your own home. You're gonna crash into a wall. Like genuinely, it's like nuts. I'd be too self-conscious to even use a drone at all. I'm thinking about getting a drone. I'm also thinking about doing more just general content. I thought doing some more general content could be really fun. Just like, hey guys, I'm covering the new drone that came out. I'm sure it would die. I'm sure the video would do terribly. But I feel like it'd be fun. Go over here. But that was most of CES. Most of CES was essentially going around to booths and either being really let down by the people manning the booth, or the opposite, being like stuck there for like 90 minutes just talking to people. I don't want to get a drone for one reason. I don't know where I can fly without getting in trouble. Isn't that so fucking true? It feels genuinely impossible to get a drone, because how the fuck am I supposed to know where I can and can't fly it? Steamy, I'm not saying I'm going to make drone content. I'm meaning that, like, I like the idea of just experimenting with other types of content. Dude, oh, okay, I have got such a bad... This year is going to be so rough. I have a plan this year that I want to start uploading content that doesn't have my face in the thumbnail, because I think it'll get me a wider audience. But every time I try and upload content on this channel where I don't use my thumbnail format, like, you guys are watching me, so you know what my thumbnail format is. It's like a face over here, the main thing that I'm talking about over here. Every time I try to upload one that doesn't follow that format, it just fucking dies. It just dies so hard, aggressively. So it's like, everyone always says, you want to reach the biggest audience, don't include your face, make it so that anyone can understand the content. And then I do it, and you guys are like, that's not LJ, I'm not going to watch that. It's so painful. I just have to commit, and I have to commit and just fail it. Have a few videos flop and hope they do better in the long run. But I'm also very aware that a video flopping doesn't mean anything. It could blow up a year later. Brands are not okay with that at the moment, though. Lots of brands really struggle with the idea of content not doing well immediately. I think that's you guys too, probably. I think a lot of viewers upload YouTube videos and then immediately, like, if it doesn't perfectly work, you just fucking... You pull the chute, feel it's terrible. Hey, speaking of terrible, Americans, how the hell do you drink your coffee? American coffee is so fucking bad. You guys, what is wrong with you? Never. Brands are always right. Barney, you know what's funny? I've worked with a lot of brands. Ooh, I probably shouldn't say that. I was about to say something bad. I was about to call out a brand and say they were the worst. Because okay, so I've worked with a lot of brands, but there was one brand who genuinely... I was going to say... Okay, how do I say this? What up, Cleep? How you doing, man? I hope you're enjoying yourself while you make content, and I'm glad the channel has helped. Cold brew is how I drink mine, but I live in Asia, so I have access. Dude, Kelly, I can't explain it. American coffee is like drinking dirt water. It's gross. So I've worked with a lot of brands. There was one brand last year who, when they saw my draft of my video, said, and I'm not even kidding, I had a brand last year who saw my draft of my video, and they came back and they pretty much said, hey, can you make this product look better than it actually is? Based on this video, we don't think people will buy the product because it doesn't come across very well. And I said, no. I said, because my agent, they were telling my agent this, and my agent just sent screenshots of the feedback. And I said, well, no, I can't make the product look better than it is. I'm going to show people what the product looks like. And if they like it, they can go for it. But I'm not going to big it up. I'm just going to give a plain and simple, this is what it looks like. You guys can let your eyes and ears make the decision. And props to my agent. My agent essentially made that work. They were very close to being like, no, make it good or else we're out. And I think my agent being amazing handled that really well for me. I don't think I could have handled it. I think when you're a solo creator at my size, you think you have a lot of sway, but brands are so quick to just be like, yeah, cool, we're out. I'm not dealing with it. It's an epidemic of people deleting their content one day after posting it since it's doing amazing numbers, which is so funny too, Steamy, because when you delete your videos or your shorts, and you're actually killing your channel. Like, you're severing information that YouTube is using to learn, and every time you delete something, you're holding yourself back. All brands want to go viral because their product is the best. I think brands are just a little out of touch, which is normal. I think most marketing people are out of touch, right? Engineers to a degree. What do you mean? What's going on in the USA? Didn't hear it. Oh, Barney, I just said that American coffee is trash. I've had some day one stinkers do better after a couple weeks. Oh, absolutely. I don't... People want the instant gratification, but when it comes to YouTube, I've had videos go viral a year later. Like, I uploaded a video called I Survived 100 Days of Open World Pokemon, released it, it got like 2,000 views, and then a year and a half later, I randomly got a ping. It wasn't like I already given up on the channel. I stopped uploading to the channel. And then a year and a half later, I got an email saying that I had qualified for some like special thing. And I went and looked, and the old channel that I'd stopped uploading to, the video that I'd uploaded a year and a half later had suddenly got 130,000 views. Isn't that so fucking crazy? And people are like, oh, I stopped trying because I uploaded 6 videos and they all got like 300 views. It's like, no, you're not uploading. You don't become a YouTuber because you like pressing upload. You become a YouTuber because you like creating content. And if you create enough of it, you create an audience and a community around that stuff. Glad to hear you're doing so well. I got 30K across platforms now, thanks to your tutorials. Dude, not because of my tutorials, because of your own hard work. Any success is because of you guys, not because of me. I'll take some thanks, but you don't need to say it's because of me. I saw a video about an American girl being like, no one drinks raw espresso, and she was in the comments talking about how weird everyone was that drinks espresso. I don't think, you can't trust a single thing Americans say about coffee. Like, genuinely, you can't say a single thing. The coffee they have there is horrendous. Also, it's so fucking hot. Dude, why? I was like, can I just get a hot coffee? And they give me a hot coffee, and I tried to drink it, and I couldn't drink it for like an hour. It took so long to cool down. It was scalding. What are your thoughts on stuff like TikTok promote when you're starting out? If you ever pay for views, you're just killing your channel, dude. Genuinely. Like, I've experimented with it on side channels because I get asked this question so much. And when you pay TikTok or even YouTube to promote a video, you're essentially telling those platforms your video sucks because no one engages with it properly. I had a recent video that I knew would suck off rip, but would keep getting views, and it's just totally fine because it was a funnel. So a lot of the content on my channel here on Stream Scheme is search content. And the reason I do that is because the majority of people quit streaming after 3 months. Like, if I only made content that was targeting browse, then I would essentially just have a dead channel. Because most of you guys, you know, a lot of people try and say things like, oh, you fell off, you got 300,000 subscribers, and, you know, your videos get 10 to 20K views, and you when you go live once a year, you get 30 views. But, like, I think a lot of people don't understand that Stream Scheme doesn't build a community the way others channels would build a community. Like, so let's say you want to be a streamer. What is your life cycle as a streamer for the majority of people? You become a streamer because it's so easy. So you look up one OBS video, you find me, you watch me, you subscribe, set your mic up with my video, all that sort of stuff. And then 3 weeks later, you're still at 0 views because you aren't doing YouTube, despite what I say. You know, 3 months later, still at 0 views. You're not really getting where you want. You're doing it because you want cash or a big viewership, and it's not happening super quick. So you quit. Because the majority of people who become streamers or creators quit within 3 months. You don't go around and unsubscribe from all the channels you subscribe to in those 3 months. So, you know, creators like vidIQ or myself who do content end up with this huge subscriber base of like 300K or like 1 million in some cases. But our views and stuff like that don't match it. Because the majority of people who watch us don't actually stream ever again. They try it out, they're okay with it, and then they peace out. And understanding that life cycle is really crucial to having a long-term sustainable education channel. And that's why most of the content I make isn't for you guys who are watching. It's for search content so that when someone new tries to get into streaming, they find me. You know what I mean? I'm a disabled vet with short-term memory loss and could not figure out some of the OBS stuff. I mean, dude, you could be completely not disabled and not a vet and not have short-term memory loss, and OBS would still be confusing. Like, that's just some people that software is, it's not that its software is bad, it's so unlike anything else that you'll use as a person that when you first get your hands on it, it's just weird. I'm no scientist, but these types of channels also have business models that have little to do with crazy views. 100% Vass. But also, I don't need a crazy viewership model because education has like a $20 CPM. You know what I mean? I can get paid a really decent sum for like a mediocre viewership performance, whereas other creators like gamers need huge viewership to get anywhere near what I get paid, because people who watch gaming videos aren't going to convert into ad sales, whereas people who watch me can convert to, you know, peripherals and electronics and stuff like that. Like, there's a lot more people can put on my videos as ads to make money. Also, Amazon affiliate. I only really got into doing Amazon affiliate in the past year, and that's a huge part of my... Is this weird that we've randomly gotten into how to break down income? But Amazon affiliate is probably one of my most consistent incomes at the moment, which is crazy because I didn't use it until very, very recently. And now I don't... It's all passive. It doesn't cost you guys anything extra. If you're buying a microphone and you happen to use my link, it's huge for me. It's great. Memberships, I do wish memberships on this channel were better, but the problem is that I don't make enough membership content so that $1 is good enough. You know what I mean? And I was going to do a feedback section today where I turned the stream into a members only stream to do feedback on thumbnails, but based on how today is, I think I'll probably do that another time. This was just a fun way to chat. Definitely well-monetized gaming channels don't really make the majority of revenue off views. Amazon affiliate is pretty okay for me as well. I wonder if gaming channels can do... I couldn't imagine gaming channels doing Amazon affiliate stuff. I guess if you got like if you were a really big like CSGO player and people wanted to buy the same headset or mouse as you, that would make sense. Can't wait for Amazon affiliate tutorials. I don't think I'll ever do that. That's probably not my vibe. I think my vibe is very much, I just talk about the things that I enjoy and what I love doing. And if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I'm a very relaxed person. As you guys have heard several times this stream, I do not have the drive to be the biggest. I have the drive to be the most relaxed. But I think that's fine. Who do you want to learn from? Do you want to learn from the guy who has like a marketing and technical mind and likes to understand it all and become sustainable and earn his own income, but not grind? Or do you want to learn from the guy who does nothing but chase trends and grind? As someone that is super niche, do you have recommendations for reaching out to brands? Not really. My issue is that I've never had to reach out to a brand. Every single brand I have ever worked with has reached out to me. And I think that's because a rule of thumb I've always lived by when it comes to content creation is if I make good content and I get enough views and stuff like that, people will want to work with me and I can pick and choose. I mean, Loki, you're a very good speaker. I don't know if you've actively trained. I did train. I trained for 3 years to be a better speaker, but it was totally free. And if you want, I can explain how. It's very easy to do. I've covered it in a few videos, but I know that people don't watch my entire catalog. So essentially what I did, I used to be a terrified public speaker, and I used to be absolutely terrible at speaking in general. I used to get bullied when I was a kid because I told really long-winded stories and I was really monotonous. So I kind of got really scared about engaging and how to tell stories and how to like show who I was as a person. Anyway, and one day I went to this event in Australia called Nodefest where like VFX artists and filmmakers speak. And there was this creator there called Ben Marriott. And I said to him, I was like, man, you were absolutely amazing on stage today. You were fantastic. We were at drinks afterwards at like a party. And I said, you're absolutely amazing. I would absolutely love to hear how you became such a good speaker. And he said, all I did was one day, I got my phone out, I turned on record, selfie mode, and I recorded myself for 10 minutes without any other distractions. I didn't come up with talking points. I didn't plan out stories to tell. I didn't have music on or anything else. I just recorded myself trying to talk confidently and consistently for 10 minutes. And then when I finished that 10 minutes, I stopped the recording and I went about my day. I didn't think about it. I didn't open my phone back up. I didn't look at it again. I just, went and had dinner or did my work or whatever else. I went to bed, wake up the next day. And when I have a little bit of time, I opened my phone and I watched back those 10 minutes without any distractions. I turned my TV off. I turned my music off. I just watched those 10 minutes, the entire 10 minutes. And as I watched those 10 minutes, I didn't look away or pause. I watched in full and just thought about what I could do better, things I noticed that weren't working. I just kind of sat in my own presentation. You know what I mean? Like I really just focused on it. And then as soon as that 10 minutes was done, rather than planning talking points or coming up with anything, I just hit record and I recorded another 10 minutes. And then he looped that every single day. He recorded himself for 10 minutes privately, not to show anyone. That's really important. You're not uploading these 10 minutes. You're just doing it for yourself. And he would record himself for 10 minutes, review himself the next day, record again, and just kept looping that. And I was like, okay, I'll give it a go. And within 3 weeks of doing that, I noticed I stopped saying and ah. Within 3 months, I was much more energetic and could present myself better. Within, a year, I was just a completely different person, And one of the biggest things to take away from it was I stopped hating my own voice. Like, have you guys ever had that issue where you hear yourself in a recording or like in an edit and you hate how you sound? That exercise of recording myself for 10 minutes every day completely changed that. I never hated my voice anymore. And I did that straight for like 2.5, 3 years, every single day. And that's why I'm able to be a public speaker now. That's why I'm able to confidently speak without ums and ahs or pausing or talking quietly. And it's probably one of the most life-changing things I have done in order to be a more confident person and more engaging and energetic person. Started posting TikTok shorts on my account late last year. Watching your videos helped me start streaming on both TikTok. Thank you. Hey, Lionheart, thanks for the kind message, dude. I really appreciate that. California, I know you do flight sims, man. I've checked out your content when you've been asking questions in the Stream Scheme Discord. I don't know whether or not you're big enough to reach out to brands and ask them for things. If you feel like your content is big and it's getting a lot of views, maybe you can. But truthfully, if you're not sure how to reach out, you're probably not large enough or experienced enough yet. Do you hear your own voice in your headset when you speak? I have no idea if that's a good or bad thing, but I'm doing it for about 2 years. I do. It's called monitoring, Steamy. And I do listen back to my, you need latency-free monitoring. If you have monitoring and it's like delayed even by a second, it's called speech jamming and it won't work. You essentially need to have monitoring that is immediate and is confident, and it needs to be exactly what your viewers are going to hear. So this that I'm hearing right now is exactly what you guys are hearing, and that's crucial. Hey, no worries, Pen. I wasn't sure if it was Kerit or Serit, so I went with the PEN in the middle there. But thank you for the lovely message. I really appreciate it. It's very kind. I really like just chatting to you guys. I don't get a lot of chances to do it because work and family are so hectic. But yeah, I really love it. Thank you so much for dropping by and getting a chance to talk to you. I have a 200 ms delay on my monitor. Just turn it off, Steamy. If you can't plug your headset and get physical monitoring directly into the mic or a mixer and have no latency, I'm used to it. No, Steamy, trust me, you're not. You think you are, you're not. Just turn it off or find a different way to monitor yourself, because I promise you, no matter what you do, it'll always be a problem, even if you feel like you're used to it. You said OpenAI is projected to not have enough funds mid-2026. But Baj, or Bal, hasn't this been like something we all knew was going to happen? Like, it's like NVIDIA and like OpenAI and there's one other company in there, I think, and they're just transferring funds in a circle for the last like 2 years. And it's like, it's all fake money at this point, right? It's like when your mate takes 20 bucks off you and says, I owe you 20 bucks. And then like, you just keep circling around that you each owe each other 20 bucks or each owe each other a burger. You're both just broke. It's not gonna happen. OpenAI is like Twitch, it won't be profitable. I genuinely, who cares? Like, I know it's gonna affect us all in some way, but I feel like sometimes we get a little bit stuck paying attention to shit that just like I can't affect it, you know? It's funny, but it's also high-key 2008 maxing, as in like global financial crisis, Vass. Here's the thing. I'm probably very lucky. As an Australian, when the global financial crisis hit, we survived it better than any other country because our prime minister and our economics head did a massive system that essentially saved the entire country. We didn't dip. We barely dipped because they gave out a bunch of cash to everyone to spend, and everyone was like, this isn't going to work. You're just giving out money. But like, every single Australian, no matter who they were, got given like an extra $800 to $1,000. And then we used that money to, you know, buy beers, buy TVs. And then buying those things meant that businesses could pay their employees and their workers and stuff like that. It was so cool. I wrote a thesis on the AU restructure. Vass, Australia is one of the few countries in the world that has won the Global Economics Awards twice. Once was post-World Wars. One of our treasurers essentially made all of our universities and everything like free and did a bunch of really cool stuff. And the second time was Wayne Swan in 2008 in the global financial crisis. I know Australia has a lot of issues, but can I just straight up say, as an Aussie, I'm very proud of the fact that we do lead the world in so many ways. Like, not in the sense that like people follow us, but we are like a leader in so many aspects of how to live. And it's so nice. Like, other countries don't look at us and go, we're going to do that too. But they fucking should, because like evidence proves the things that we do just work so well. Amazon can fund Twitch for 1,000 years. OpenAI can't even fund OpenAI for 6 months. That's very fair. Australia Glaze. I know we have systematic issues in Australia, but I'm also just very happy. I wouldn't get too high on your horses. I know, Vass. I know. Leader in most venomous animals. Yeah, but our venomous animals aren't going to attack you for no reason. Whereas in America, it's like a bear will just fuck you up. Sorry to have to ask on live, but do you have any additional tips I could use to grow as a content creator? My content is focused on League of Legends for now. Lionheart, at the end of the day, the most important thing is always going to be making engaging, discoverable offline content. This is one of the reasons why I've been doing so much tech content lately. I think people don't really understand that, like, I can't keep talking about growth because I've really covered everything. You know what I mean? Like, there's no more real growth stuff to talk about. I'm kind of gonna, if I do growth content, I'm gonna just be recovering the same things over and over and over again. Start a YouTube channel, focus on making offline content. Don't make content that is similar to the big guys. Make content that has high TAM, is super engaging and clickable and discoverable, and that is interesting and unique. Don't try and do let's plays or random stuff. Find your own value. But people, I've covered all this so many times, and I think a lot of people still come into this space and they go, I want to grow. And I go, okay, cool. How's your YouTube channel? And they don't really have any YouTube content, or they understand they need a YouTube channel, but they're not really like into it. Large help for me starting Twitch streaming, and I have watched almost all your videos. Grump Nugget, I love your username. I know that's not the takeaway. I was supposed to say thank you for the lovely comment, and I do mean that as well, but I love your username, and I really just needed to get that out immediately as soon as I read it. Countries like mine, like Norway and stuff, are amazing countries to live in. There's also a global epidemic of doofuses in power. Yes, 100% Vass. 100%. I don't know. I feel like, here's a question for you guys. If you've watched this channel, I assume you've heard me say in my videos, the only thing that matters for growth is making offline content on YouTube, right? Like, you're not coming into this channel and missing those videos, right? Like, I say that in almost all of my growth content. And if you guys feel like that's not what my main takeaway you're hearing on the channel is, then I'd love for you to tell me what you're thinking. Like, what you feel like my takeaway on the channel, what you feel like you take away from the channel is. His name came from my partner making fun of me being a little grumpy. That's fine. Everyone needs a little bit grumpy. Aussie gotta support Aussie. Yes, of course a grump nugget is from an Australian. It's the opposite. I make 70% income off Twitch live streams, even though I've been focused on YouTube and videos. That's up to 2 years of full-time content creation. I don't think that's a problem, but I do think that you have to remember, if you stop streaming, your 75% of your income is no longer coming from Twitch. At the moment you stop going live, whether it's because you're sick or your computer's broken or whatever it is, you're suddenly getting 0% income. I think people really misunderstand the issues that come from Twitch streaming. You know what I mean? The reason I tell you to focus on other things is because you will have better growth from YouTube if you focus on it. You know, properly. You will have better income from Twitch if you focus on it. And if you get sick or your PC breaks, you're not screwed. You know what I mean? Like, a great example, I upload on StreamScreen maybe once a month. I only upload what I care about. I make a full-time living wage whether or not I upload or not. And another one 2 years ago, when my daughter was born, I went away. I took 7.5 weeks off. I didn't work at all. I just was a dad for the first 7.5 weeks. And not a single person even realized I was gone because I had 7 videos prepped. I had them scheduled. They all just went out. You know what I mean? And then I came back. People were like, whoa, how'd you grow a beard so fast? And I had to explain. I actually hadn't filmed anything in 3 months. You know what I mean? You can't do that as a streamer. I know streamers who go live on Christmas, like Christmas Day, because if they don't get enough subs and revenue. Took 2 weeks off Christmas break. My YouTube only lost 79% income. That's interesting. It probably means your content's not very evergreen. Yeah, so I feel like that's one of those tricks, isn't it? Hello, Marcy Pael. What's crack-a-lackin'? Thank you for being a member. It's very kind of you to do. I took a big break on my side channel at the end of last year because I had to kind of, well, I got hit by the, you guys heard about the AI language issue? Yeah. I don't need to explain the AI language issue. Press a 1 in chat if I do need to explain it. 2 if you understand what I mean when I say YouTube's AI language issue. Bal, I don't work on the website. The website and I aren't connected at all. The Stream Scheme website I worked with for like 6 months, 5 years ago. And then we kind of just parted ways because the guys who worked on it stepped away from it. So we're not like connected whatsoever. I don't even think the same people run it as when I was there. Very, very different connections, not at all related. So essentially YouTube released this thing called AI languages where they would auto dub your voice and your subtitles and your title to like dozens of different languages. So what happened was I had this new channel and it was doing really well and it was going like super solid. Like I was getting like 500,000 views on videos. And then one day they turned on this automatic AI dubbing and suddenly all my videos just died overnight. And I had to have a look. And essentially what was happening was my retention was terrible. And I was like, that's so weird. What was happening was my video was being shown to French people, Indonesian people, Spanish people, all these other languages. They were clicking it because my thumbnails were visual stories and my title was automatically translated. And then they would click it and the first thing they would hear is an AI version of my voice speaking in their language, but badly, like it was broken AI translation. And so they would leave immediately. And so YouTube suddenly thought that all of my videos that used to have like a 40% retention rate, suddenly it had like a 10% retention rate. And so what happened was they just killed the videos. They said, these are shit videos. People are clicking it and they're not sticking around. So we're going to just kill it. And so my channel went from getting like 2,000, 3,000 gaming views a day to like 200 gaming views a day. Because YouTube genuinely believed that my content had low retention. But if you went and looked, English-speaking viewers were still watching like 35, 40% of a video. However, it was such a tiny amount of people being recommended the content. So I had to turn all the AI language dubbing off. And so I turned it all off so it was no longer a thing. I uploaded the new video and I was watching and the video impressions, I clicked via traffic source and I could see that YouTube for some reason, despite having my AI languages off, was only recommending that video to Indonesia, France, Spain, Germany, because it had built in its head, it had built an idea in its head that those were my viewers because those viewers clicked on the videos the previous month. Fuck. So YouTube really fucked me. And so yeah, that's so dumb. YouTube love to break their own algo. It really screwed me over. So I've taken a big break and I'm coming back this year on my side channel. But it's going to be a lot of work to undo that pain, undo that break. But it'll be worth it because, as I said, like I'm kind of retired. You know what I mean? Like I'm kind of retired. These days, I just make whatever I want, earn a good living, and learn new skills. I hate auto dubbing, never click. Meta has really good translation, which even changes the mouth movement. That's crazy, Bal, if that actually works. Love it when stuff gets broken for testing, especially when it's a feature no one really wants. Dude, I could understand. Okay, look, I'm going to be fair. I could understand auto dubbing education content. You know what I mean? I don't mind if a French person needs to learn how to like set up OBS and they watch my video and it gets auto dubbed. I don't understand auto dubbing comedy and gaming because like the timing and pacing on a joke doesn't automatically translate. If you tell the same joke in Japanese as English, it's not going to work in both. There's like timing and pacing and reveals and punchlines and it just doesn't work for the auto dub. And so it's such a bad system. What's extra whack is it auto-dubbed creators in languages that I do speak. Really, Vass? That's crazy. That's actually nuts if that's true. I couldn't believe them doing that. But I could believe them doing that. YouTube can be a bit silly. Some of the new updates are a bit dumb, but I do like that at its core, YouTube doesn't really change. It's just like make a good video, and if someone watches a lot of that video, we'll recommend more videos. Like watching a video with subtitles just spoils it. Does it do that? Like when you like watch something, like it tells it. Oh, yes. Yeah, I see what you're saying, Bal. It's like when you're watching something and the subtitle tells you the entire sentence, but what you're hearing is someone goes, and that's when I found out. And there's a big suspenseful pause, and then they drop, that Darth Vader is my father. But in reality, what you're reading is at the bottom, it just says, that's when I found out Darth Vader is my father. It is a massive spoiler, isn't it? It does not work. Option viewer can turn on, just an auto thing. It's an option now, Grump. It is an option now. You can turn all that stuff off, which is good, which is nice. I'm glad they have that. I'm subbed to these people, have been for years, and I get auto-translated tiles and auto-dubbed. Vass, you gotta comment. Tell them to turn it off. Tell these creators to turn that shit off. Because they can turn it off now. They can just turn it all straight off. Hey, gang, let's do some quickfire. If you have any questions, if you have any like really like specific questions that you have about content creation, hit me with it now, because I think I'm gonna wrap up soon. And I wanna answer as much as I can while you've got me, because I probably won't be live again for a couple weeks, because you guys know I only do this every now and then when I want to. But I'm keen to answer stuff. And if you don't have time today, or you want to cover it later, I'm happy to be in the Stream Scheme Discord, which Stream Scheme Discord, I'm there for like 2 hours every single day. Cool, easy peasy. But if anyone doesn't have any questions about stuff, I'll probably just wrap up very, very, very soon. I'll end that poll and I'll unpin that as well. Easy peasy. You can see the end of the poll. 10% people said why. Why do I have to like it? Alrighty. Easy as pie. Gang, thank you for today. That was fun. I really like just chatting to you guys. I like hanging out. What do you think about streaming with Facecam and a ski mask for privacy? Vass, you may as well just not stream with a Facecam. I'm a firm believer that people don't care if you don't have a Facecam anymore. I have found that with my gaming content, I actually find my videos perform better without a Facecam, because people really like... Dream is a good example. This is not an insult to him, but he is not an attractive young man. He's not like what people think of when they think of attractive. He's not a model, right? He's just a normal dude. I'm just a normal dude. But people thought Dream was beautiful. They thought he was hot as hell because he was faceless. And the reason is, when you're a content creator, people who don't know what you look like can sometimes impart their dream person to you. And that they in their head, they come up with like an ideal person and they go, that's who that is. And so I've found with gaming content, sometimes it's actually better to just be faceless and let people impart to your voice visually who they want. You know what I mean? And that works. Because if people like you and think you're funny and clever, they're going to make you really attractive and really confident, and they're going to have an idea in their head of that. So sometimes, if you want privacy, just go faceless. And I've found gaming content, especially on YouTube, does really well faceless. As long as you're still engaging verbally, like you're really good at projecting your voice. I bought a Pomodoro, in terms of removing distractions, Bal, I bought a Pomodoro timer today, so that I can just like roll it onto its side and it starts counting down 10 minutes, and I work 10 minutes and then roll it on its side and it tells me to have a break for 5. I'm way too annoying of a person for that, hopefully. Dude, Marcy, 100%. One of the best things I ever learned as a content creator was that embracing who you are, even if it's being a little bit annoying, is one of the most important things you can do. Because I used to hide myself. I used to like cut jokes from videos and like not talk about things I loved, or like I would really sterilize who I was as a person because I didn't want people to dislike me. And what I realized I was doing was I was just making it harder for my audience to find me, because they weren't able to connect with me at all. So when you say like, oh, I'm just an annoying person, don't think of yourself as an annoying person. Just think of yourself as a normal human being yourself. And there are millions of others out there who are probably just like you. And by being yourself, even if you think you're being annoying, you're sending signals that allow people to go, that's who I am. I'm just like them as well. And I'm going to stick around because I can connect with that person. Does that make sense? I don't know if that makes sense or not. I don't know. I don't know if that's something that actually matters or what people care about. But all right, gang. thank you so much for hanging out. I really enjoyed spending the day with you. I'll probably going to wrap up there. If there's anything else you want to ask about, I'll be in the Stream Scheme Discord or in the comments. Thank you so much for always watching the channel. This was really fun. I'll see you guys later. I click stop streaming.